time I went back and joined everyone in a small salon.
Pas tout réussir après. Après, c'est un jeu qui va rejouer en sorte que. Alors.
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Alors. Petit salon, donc. Pas dû chercher. D'un moment.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis?
I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
It must have been Emma I saw in my vision. I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay. I've got a question that might seem a little bit strange.
On va essayer d'en savoir
I'm
plus.
listening.
If I said go beyond the nightmare, would that ring any bells?
No, means nothing to me. Do you mean literally or figuratively speaking?
It might be a place, I don't know where, but it's a lead.
You ought to ask His Eminence. He knows the house and its estate very well, being a frequent visitor here.
Thanks for the advice. Should I speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge. Better keep that to myself for the time
Voilà.
being.
On va causer des problèmes.
Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
You will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
And who is this charming character?
Manuel Godoy, the Duke of La Alcudia.
He's the head of the Spanish government, Monsieur de Richet. He's the one who, in practice, controls Spain.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds.
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined.
13, je parie. Hein.
The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before. How dare they?
Oh dear.
Oh, as if
Lui, il est content. Hein.
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous. Bastard. He was sentenced to
Lancer un
death.
sort comme dans Harry Potter.
360
Ridiculous.
votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote. Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen,
Ah, vraiment, on est là.
please.
Hein.
Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
If I remember rightly, what Mother told me one night, King Louis was secretly also part of the Order. I wonder what impact his death will have on us. Sad news, sir.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richer.
Are you related to Sarah de Richer?
Ouais, c'est sa mère.
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured, the response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you too. Of course.
Pourquoi c'était les mines de notre mère?
I heard
Aïe.
about your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned. I don't know why.
Alors, attendez. Alors, attendez. Inventaire. Guérit les altérations négatives, dévoile temporairement les immunités.
I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Well, let's see what he wants from me.
Ça va nous
Any
aider.
news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Nouvelle d'elle pouvait. On va demander
Why?
pourquoi il l'attend.
Is there something you particularly wanted from her?
No, not specially.
My questions made him feel uneasy, but he's keeping his emotions under control.
Your mother and I used to often speak together. I have rarely met someone so learned.
La mère. Hein.
To tell you the truth, I was about to make a deal
Yes.
with her. Did she tell you about our arrangement?
Pas vraiment. On va faire celui qui sait.
Of course she did.
Perfect. I'm glad to know
Comme
it.
ça on peut apprendre des choses.
So, how should we proceed then?
What do you mean?
Oh, come, sir. No point pretending. You know. You obviously have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
D'accord.
Indeed. My mother is never without her favorite book.
Oh, a stroke of luck?
I didn't think her original edition of Bougainville would be so captivating to
Comme
you.
ça on va le mine buffer.
No, indeed. The one I'm interested in is a very old book,
Et de le
with each
griller.
chapter under lock and key. It has nothing to do with de Bougainville's book.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about that.
Ah, well, too bad.
You seem very upset. Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's the search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had
Ah,
it
c'est lui.
in her possession. I thought it
Mémoriage.
was with a certain von Borchet in Paris. Do you know him?
The name doesn't mean anything to me. I'm sorry to say.
He's an expert in occult
pas
objects
confiant
and
du tout.
books. And your mother said she knew him. Are you sure his name doesn't ring a bell?
Let me think.
I shan't keep you. Monsieur de Richet.
All right then. Thank you.
I hope that your search will prove successful and bring Sarah back to us soon. I must go now. I'll see you later.
Indice sur...
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
May we?
Does expression go beyond the nightmare mean anything to you at all?
On va essayer de trouver des choses.
Metaphorically, yes. It sums up the career of a soldier quite well. I doubt that is what you want to hear, though.
Indeed.
That's surely not what I'm looking for.
Well, monsieur, if you are looking for a phrase book, Lord Mortimer must surely have one, given the number of books he has. You ought to check in the library of the tower. You never know.
Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
Horrible.
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
Meaning?
This gentleman enjoys people talking about him for too many reasons. His undeserved titles, more than 10 in just 4 years, and each one more prestigious than the one before.
You don't think he deserves them?
If I had seen him on the battlefield, there might be some doubt. But that is not the case. The Queen would rather not risk losing him, so she consoles him with awards and titles.
So you don't have a very positive opinion?
His coveting French Catalonia does not encourage me to have one.
I understand your point of view. Well, I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deal before I leave. Let me know if you find her. À plus tard, monsieur.
En fait, je comprends pas pourquoi il a parlé anglais pendant tout le long. Alors que un français parle à un autre français. Hein, c'est... Oh...
Hey, these look like pages taken from an ancient encyclopedia. There's a pattern with 5 circles on this chest.
Terre. Je peux pas l'ouvrir encore.
Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
Alors... Je vais essayer de voir la bibliothèque.
Go beyond the nightmare. Does this line remind you of anything in particular?
You caught me unaware here, Louis. Let me think about it a second.
Ça serait
No.
peut-être, hein.
Nothing comes to mind. Sorry, Louis, but I am unable to help you.
Mr. President, what do you think about your counterpart, Duke
Je vais
Manuel?
poser les questions.
I'm very surprised he was able to accept Lord Mortimer's invitation, given the political situation in Spain.
What do you mean?
The situation is ready to explode with France
Ah oui.
over Catalonia.
Well, the Duke must have a darn good reason to be absent and come here, mustn't he?
When Lord Mortimer invites you, Louis, you come. It's always in your best interest.
I wouldn't say that personally, but... Mr. President, can you tell me a little more about the coming conference?
Of course, Louis. That's why we're here. Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory regularly organize meetings like this to put forward major projects.
What do you mean by major projects?
I'd prefer to let Lord Mortimer explain that to you, Louis.
Ouais, en gros, tu...
Let's say he brings together influential people in order to consider possible actions to undertake to guarantee the future of nations.
Do you know the theme of the conference?
Not in the slightest. None of the guests know the theme before arriving. But you'll see, everything will turn out fine. Don't worry.
Well, thank you for your time.
Don't mention it, my young friend. Regarding your question on the nightmare, don't hesitate to question the others about it.
Là où ils sont.
Maybe one of them knows more than I do.
That's a good idea. Thank you once again. I'll see you in a little bit.
Je peux sortir. On peut pas sortir. On va aller voir dans la bibliothèque. Ah. Très cher.
Ah,
Hop.
Louis. Just the man.
Ah.
Good Lord. How did the king come to be executed? I would think that the order would have intervened.
Your Eminence, I haven't been following the case. I'm sure that the Order did everything in its power. Unfortunately, you know the situation in Paris, and, well, it's chaotic at best. Anything can happen in those revolutionary tribunals.
The king is the official representative of God on earth, my son.
Your Eminence, France has become a secular state. The king was just another citizen to them. He refused to admit his errors, looked down upon them, and attempted to escape. What did he expect?
France has lost all reason, Louis.
Oh là
I
là.
invite you to speak about it with my mother as soon as she reappears.
Is there any news of her?
Les opinions des...
Well, I hope it won't be long before I find her, Your Eminence.
Louis, I'm counting on you. If you don't find Sarah before my departure, I must ask you to give me back the letter I gave you.
Oh, don't worry about that, Your Eminence.
Now you wanted to speak to me.
If I say the nightmare to you, does it make you think of anything?
Your question is strange, my son. Difficult to say. Could you at least tell me a little more about the context?
Well, I mean, if it were a place or an object found on this island, what would you think of first?
The nightmare. No, I don't see anything.
Peut-être pas.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's too bad.
Ah, wait. I suppose it might be that horrible painting hanging in Lord Mortimer's study.
Pretend not to be that interested. Right. Well, don't worry about it. I was just curious. I was wondering what to think of that Manuel Godoy.
He is reputed to be a very ambitious character, at every level. But his faith is unwavering. He is a staunch defender of the church. You can believe me.
I'm sure a man like you is in the circle of trust. Would you know what the conference that Lord Mortimer mentioned is going to be about?
Not really, my son. Well, be it Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory, we are never informed about the theme of the conference before it begins.
Thank you for everything, Your Eminence. I shan't take up any more of your time.
You are welcome, my son. I will be seeing you, Louis.
Ah, très bien. Bon, normalement.
So, what did my mother mean by going beyond the nightmare?
Et le...
Let's take a closer look.
On va faire attention.
No, what have we got here? Oh, it looks like a model of a lock. As if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it. The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781. Ah, this must be what my mother was talking about. Now
I
just need to find out what she meant by go beyond. Hey, looks like it's mounted on rails on each side. It should lift up, I think. There must be a mechanism somewhere.
Ah.
I don't think this book can help me.
Va entrer dans la chambre des secrets. Non, c'est pas ça. Oh là là.
Aha, I found it. Oh, what on earth is this? A ring lock now? Great. That's all I needed.
Alors.
William Alexander Mortimer I, the 12th month of Anno Lucis, 5190. That's a funny date.
Arkhann 9-0.
Damn it. Doesn't work. 5190. I was pretty sure it was right. Maybe I didn't use the right dating system. It's a complex mechanism. Looks like the third ring is a bit seized up. It gets stuck on number 9.
Attends. J'ai deux jeux. Entre deux chiffres.
William Alexander Mortimer I, the 12th month of Anno Lucis, 5190. That's a funny date.
Le 12e mois. Vérifier 12.
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter. Doesn't work, damn it. I really thought I was close. 1190. Isn't the right date when you subtract 4000? I must have missed a subtlety.
pif sur la fin. Hein.
Open sesame.
Je savais que c'était 90 ou 81, c'est autre. Et décor de...
Let's see what you've been hiding, Lord Mortimer.
Permet... Pas signé. Laissez lire. Hein.
Weakness of the Human Psyche by Guillaume Trimore. He says, it is possible to drill an idea into someone by constant daily repetition until the mind gives in. Some of those forces are pushing toward the west. On it, Mortimer's placed little feather symbols at different points, toward which the Spanish are headed. Could he be fueling Indian resistance to slow down Spain?
Première sonnerie. Entre les Espagnols. Maladie.
This is my mother's writing. I've picked up her trail. What is she up to? Obviously, she wants to lure Mortimer somewhere, but where? The only clue she's left for Mortimer is this stone sword. It must be intentional. It looks like a decorative sword, like from a statue, for example. And judging by the state of it, I'm guessing it's been left outside for a long time. I have absolutely got to find out where it came from. It's locked. Some goat skulls, chicken legs. Now we all know what that's for. I'm a little surprised at Mortimer. And it seems as the type to be organizing a little pagan. Look, a pack of tarot cards. Has he been reading the cards? Mortimer? That would surprise me. It is a typical draw on a line that answers a specific question. To the left, temperance. That announces a reward for one who patiently waits before taking any action. And in the middle, the chariot, which symbolizes triumph and business success. To the right, the emperor evokes a future full of power and stability. Something strange about this table. What kind of experiments does Mortimer carry out here? It's a dissection table. So Mortimer does autopsies here on his desert island. But who is he doing autopsies on then? The little surgeon's perfect collection. A skeleton, by the name of Gustav. If the plaque on the plate are feathers. Pigeon, probably. Strange. I don't recognize the alphabet. I wonder where the pictograms are from. It isn't Egyptian or Hebrew. There are 2 inscriptions on the sides as well as on the top. No way to know what's underneath. Absolutely no idea what it's for, but I find this cue fascinating. That must be for writing the homing pigeon messages. A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire. Preservation using formaldehyde. Just as disgusting as ever. Oh shit. How am I gonna get out of here now? This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side. The mechanism passes through the wall. The wheels are the same on both sides. Chances are the combination I used on the other side works on this side too.
Pour moi, ça veut dire que c'est côté 5.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side. Whoa. If the grid closes a bit more every time I enter a wrong date, I'd better not mess up again. I know I'm on the right track here. Am I sure that the numbers I can see are the right ones?
Ah oui, c'est... Là, c'était un... Ah oui, j'ai...
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on
Oui,
the other
je sais.
side.
J'essaie.
Well, better not dwell on it then.
On peut pas se suivre. Alors. Oiseau de Mortimer. Ah oui. Ah ouais. Et en tout cas. Beaucoup. Sur ce que... Puis au début je m'étais le truc à l'envers en plus. 4 à chaque. Donc j'avais inversé. Pas inversé. Parce qu'en fait je lui ai menti alors que j'aurais dû dire la vérité, j'aurais dû le dire. J'aurais pu m'intéresser, pardon, à l'oiseau de Mortimer. J'aurais pu rencontrer Pérou dans... Quatre points disponibles. On va essayer de compléter ce qu'on a fait. Hein. Occultisme, on n'a pas encore fait. Donnez attention et choisir pour éviter. Version. Voilà, on va valider. Les livres d'abord. Ou alors tu pouvais pas. Science. Alors politique. On pourrait pas de toute façon. Faire comme ça.